welcome. My name is Dr. Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic, and this is the weekly forecast for week commencing October 28th, 2024. Each week, I like to bring to you the wisdom of spirit, guidance of the week ahead using my deck, the Mythic Tarot cards, and bringing you an interpretation of the week ahead using those cards. Each month I am using a different spread, and this month I'm using the Celtic Cross, and that requires 10 cards. And so I have already chosen those 10 cards. So let's begin. So the first card is the Inquirer, and this is the where we are at. We may not know it, but this is the situation that we find ourselves in, and this informs all the other cards. So the first card I have chosen is Three of Cups. Three of Cups represents union, contracts. So we are in a sense of a peace and feeling supported and having all of those things and people around us that make us feel part of something bigger. It's like it could be family, a family sense, or it could be a sense of community. But within that space, we are feeling nourished and loved because the environment that we're in is so nice. Card number 2 is the crossing card, or the card that is creating some sort of disturbance in our world. And the second card is Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is represents contentment, and because it's in the crossing card, or the challenge section, it's crossing the stability of the Three of Cups. So we're going to look at it in its not reverse, but we're looking at it from that point of view of being something that is a block. And the opposite of contentment is, of course, discontent. So tuning into the energy of what that means for us with the Three of Cups sitting there, the Ten of Cups coming in as a crossing card, we are happy to be in that space of contentment within our little community that we're in, or with family or community. There is a level of mistrust about, or unsettledness about, I think, whether it's going to last. It feels the Ten of Cups contentment is there, but the underlying feeling I'm getting from that card is, how long is this going to last? So there is a sense that it has an end date, and so it's very difficult to immerse ourselves in that sense of family or community if we feel that it's not going to last forever, that it's only very much a temporary thing. So card number 3 is the conscious self. And what do we know that's going on up top? This is the situation in ourselves that we are aware of. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles represents, and you'll have, if you go back and look at that card, he's got his heart covered up. So there is a level of reluctance to completely share ourselves in that situation. We are feeling, or we are noticing about ourselves, it's not so much about our external environment, but this is how we're feeling about ourselves, that we are reluctant to share that part of who we are. And it's simply because the circumstances that we are in, represented in the Four of Pentacles, is that we distrust ourselves, and we think that we are judging ourselves in comparison to those that are around us. So there is I feel like an underlying belief, or some sort of past experience that has created a situation where we can never feel content and happy within a family or community situation, because we are judging ourselves against those around us. And so that could come from a belief that we're not good enough, and we might have been taught that when we were younger. So that's like a sort of an overriding umbrella that we are aware of. So the next card, card number 4, is the unconscious self, what's going on underneath. So here we have the Four of Cups. We've got the reluctance to share ourselves because we are judging and comparing ourselves to others from a belief that we were taught or taught ourselves. And unconsciously, we've got the Four of Cups sitting there. They are playing against each other. So unconsciously, we are looking for proof that we're not good enough. We're looking for those little words, all those little phrases, all those little behaviors and little actions. So in other words, we are creating the discontent that comes with Ten of Cups. We are creating that from past experiences, things that we have told ourselves, things that we have a sense of identity that we have curated over the years and fed. So now it's all coming to pass. Our life is lovely. Our life is beautiful. It represented by the Three of Cups. But now that Three of Cups energy is bringing to the surface those little biases and those little outdated belief systems that can create discord in our own energy self. They're not something that we've made up. We have learned that about ourselves over the years. It can be from this life or a past life. However, we have embedded in us a belief system that we must be on guard and we must judge ourselves harshly against others, and we must be on the lookout for that judgment. We're doing that lookout thing unconsciously. Okay, so we're looking at the past influence. What is it that has brought us here? The past influence has been wonderful. It has created a situation to get us to this point of the Three of Cups where we have a sense of family and community. However, it can't carry us into the future. It's had a limited time, and so it's now time to let that go. And that's where the change comes in. That's why we are reluctant and feel weird about change, because we're letting go of that past influence. It can't take us further, even though we'd like it to. So let's have a look at the card. Here we have the Sun. Well, the Sun is like I think the happiest, the most positive card in the deck. It gives us an indication, like the past influence has been, we've had good times, we've had positive outcomes, and we've had positive influences. Even with all of that going on under the surface about self-doubt and like looking for where we are going to be undermined, all those little niggles that are happening are unconscious and subconscious. We have ridden on a wave of good time and good measure to get us to this point. I feel like that represents all the hard work, the personal inner work and personal self-growth that we have put into ourselves and poured into who we are. We have created circumstances and situations that have given us this beautiful environment now of the Three of Cups. And so the consequence of that is that in order to move forward and consolidate that and make that part of our everyday without it having to be proven to us or work through anything, now it's our normal. We are dealing with those little niggles, those little beliefs and all those things that have sabotaged us in the past. Now we get to see them in real time. They are not coming out of left field. We are looking at them in all honesty in the bright light of day. So the next card we're looking at, it is what is going to be a helpful influence moving forward. So we're leaving behind the past, which is all that inner work we've done, which has created a beautiful world for us. We now know who we are. We are dealing with all the niggly bits, those self-sabotaging bits are right out in the open now. What's going to help us? I love this. Judgment card. Judgment. Judgment represents the clearing out of the old. And not like, oh, I'd have to let this go. We talked about change just before. This is the perfect change card. It's like, well, I like this feeling of the Three of Cups. This is what I've worked really hard towards. I know that this resonates with my soul. And in order for me to move forward and to look objectively at those outdated beliefs and those niggles and that self-sabotage, now that they're out in the open and I can't deny them anymore, we can't deny them anymore, along comes a judgment card and says, right, I'm going to keep you, I'm letting you go, I'm keeping you, I'm letting you go. And we get to do it objectively. We are not, there's no melancholy there. There is no, oh, should I? I'm not really sure. It's like, nah, we know. I call the Judgment card the Marie Kondo of the deck. If it's not sparking joy, we are going to cut it loose. It is the ghost of the past. They have no substance. All this stuff with the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and the discontent that's coming with the Ten of Cups is all, that's the truth. And the Judgment card helps us sift through. This is my truth. I'm going to keep that moving forward. And this is a lie in my life that I've been hanging on for much too long. It is done. It is out. Chopping it off. Gone. No sentiment. No attachment. It is such a great card to move forward with, and use the power of that Judgment card to be really brutal with what attitudes you want to take forward this week and into the future. So the next card is the consequence of all of this that's going on. It is actually the next step from the Three of Cups. What does that mean for that situation? That sense of family, that sense of community that we have, and all this other stuff that's going on. What's going to happen? Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands represents a little bit of disruption. Expect life to be a bit rocky. However, I always think about the Nine of Wands is our soul, universe, guides. However you like to connect with that energy, that's a part of us that works in that higher frequency way. The Nine of Wands energy, this power energy, holds us to our truth until we deal with it. I am going to show it to you again. Have a look. It's all this turmoil, and then there's the beautiful calm water there. The universe is holding us to the truth of who we are, and the Judgment card clearing things out. It's going to hold us there until we do it. It's not going to let us move away from it. And because of the other cards that are surrounding it that have come before, especially the Sun card, we know the value of that inner work. We are going to stick with it until we can move into those calmer waters. So expect a little bit of turmoil from all of that inner work. 100% worth it, 100% worth it. And the universe is going to hold us there. We don't have to do all the hard work. It's going to hold us there. Spirit will hold us there until we deal with it in a very gentle way, by the way. It's not destructive. It's just like, well, deal with it. We're going to help you deal with it, but we're not going to let you get away with it just yet. Face it honestly and move it on. You got this. So now we're having a look at the card that represents how we are viewed by the world. In other words, we may not understand how the world is responding to us, but our behavior creates ripples in the outer world, and especially in those closest to us. And even like when I say ripples, I'm talking about like if we go to the shops, we talk to the person at checkout, or our neighbor, or our teachers, or acquaintances, and so on and so forth. As the level of closeness ripples out, that is still our external world. Why are they reacting in the way that they are? This is our inner energy that's expanding out into our aura. This is the message that we're letting the outside world know so that they can respond accordingly. Page of Cups. We have this signal to the outside world because it signals to the outside world that we are moving through something, or this is our attitude today. But the Page of Cups represents sensitivity and a little bit of naivety around how we're feeling. So in other words, we're a little bit like an open bruise while we're going through that stuff. Now, we're not like in huge trauma, we're in a big mess on the floor. We're just a little bit extra sensitive about the Four of Cups, external gossipy stuff, that we're looking on guard for that insult, or that, that sort of undermining, if you like. as an example. So we are super sensitive to anything that happens around us, and that's going to ripple out. Expect reactions such as nurturing, or if somebody is challenged by that behavior, they may try and throw it back at you. Self-care, self-care, self-care is the premium attitude with this Page of Cups energy, simply because, as I said, we're an open bruise, so any reaction that comes back to us will impact. If we can recognize that and nip it in the bud before it takes hold, we will get through that Nine of Wands energy a lot smoother, a lot quicker. And we will also, I suppose, in a way, if we want to look at it as a helpful tool, is that we will realize the value of looking after ourselves and keeping any negativity away. And also too, that especially with the objectivity of the Judgment card there, we can strengthen that vulnerable part of ourselves, that sensitive part of ourselves, and start to trust that we can recognize any toxic behaviors around us, or recognize perhaps when we might be overreacting to something, because the truth is all around us. So this is the next card, is the Hopes and Fears card. Oftentimes this area delves into the deep unconscious. What is it? Oftentimes like past life stuff. What is it that we are clearing from ourselves? What is the experience or the lesson that we are moving through in our higher selves, in our soul self, to move through, to live that, like to peel back the next layer and the next layer and live our best lives. The devil. So we are moving through that. Oh, the devil represents shame, addiction, anything that we have hidden inside of ourselves. It's funny that we're talking about the truth coming out this week. Is that like our truth and understanding what that means? So we are facing our hidden shame. Now, the devil does indicate that this could be deeper than what I have been talking about previously. So expect, because the sun was there and that's brought us that really strong inner work. We've got the Four of Cups and the Four of Pentacles sort of almost like pushing back against each other. I'm not going to I'm not going to participate too much, because I'm going to look for all where anyone's attacking me. All of this is highlighting that belief system that has been crumbling away at our confidence and our sense of self, right from, as I said, past life, this life, childhood, all of those things. So we are getting to clear out and experience whatever we have buried so deep that we consider a deep sense of shame. Because of the subtlety of those cards that I mentioned, that shame that's coming out into the open, or that deep hidden things that we have buried for so long, coming out in such, I believe, a gentle way. We are going to realize that the stuff that we've been carrying around is going to be easy to release, because it's not as bad as we thought it was. And that's because we've done all that sort of really strong work beforehand. Not hard work, but really strong work. We've really advocated for ourselves and used that sun energy to its full advantage. So expect that the stuff that's coming up may incite a deep sense of shame, or hint at that deep sense of shame. And by utilizing those cards that we mentioned earlier, bringing it up into the light and looking at it and sticking with it, we will understand that that shame actually no longer exists, and it doesn't serve us anymore. And it's not going to affirm or confirm any further decision making. We have our power back, and we have our autonomy back. So, future outcome. I think that the energy that I'm talking about, even though it's for the week commencing, this is something that's a long-term project. what the events of this week are going to have a ripple effect again. 4 more months to come. So not 4 months, but month. It's going to take a little while, and I keep getting in my mind 6 months. So expect whatever happens this week is going to have that flow-on effect for the next 6 months. The card. The Hierophant. The future, what we are heading towards, is a level of wisdom that sets us up to be an example. So the Hierophant represents the teacher, the guru, the mentor. If whatever stage we are in our life, the experiences that we are going on at the moment is heading us towards that time where we become a bigger example to those that we love around us. We started off with the Three of Cups, that sense of community and family, and with that we become a greater authority, but a kinder and gentler authority within that space. So that means that we represent or enter into a what would you call it? I need to sit with this for a minute. So do the whatever music. Just bear with me. Okay. So I had to sit with it for a minute. So that's why you got that little blurry moment for a minute, because what the information I was getting sort of contradicted. In other words, my mind was trying to take over. So I had to sit in my heart for a bit and just get the message. The message is, it is the teacher of. I'm not really understanding, and it's not for me to understand, but however, we're going to take these experiences and we will turn out to be, or we will end up being, the teacher. That's why I got that sort of leader energy, leader quality, mentor quality. So whatever we're learning here, whether it's in our relationship, family, whatever it is that we're going through, the future of this shift is that we become the leader or the teacher or the guide. We will become an example, and we will be showing it to others. So if you are in a healing profession, a service profession, whether you are a parent or whether you are a sibling, it doesn't matter where you are in the scheme of things. Our experiences now take us into that higher position where we will be then bringing through others in that circle that's represented by the Three of Cups. We are bringing others through and guiding them through and helping them through the process because we've been through the process. So we then become the mentors and the guide and the support system for those that come after. And it all revolves around our community, our family, whatever the Three of Cups represents for you. So thank you. That is the weekly forecast for week commencing October 28th, 2024. Looks like a good one. My name is Dr. Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you next week with a new spread and a new forecast. Much love from me, and bye for now.